this is Abhisheksengupta and welcome back. You are listening to Abhisheksengupta audio blogs. Now we are on with our corporate governance series, and in this episode we are taking up the topic of board of directors and its functions. Now board of director is a very important position in a company. It is a strategic position and this gives direction to the functioning of the entire company. Now board of director has got a lot of responsibility and it has a very strategic function in business. First thing first, let us understand what are the functions of board of directors. The functions of board of director are broadly classified into three. Number one is governance. Board governance is a structural framework that controls how the board is structured, how it should operate, and how the decisions are made. This includes processes, systems, and rules to help board understand their specific functions and responsibilities. So are its members and participants. Now this acts as a guide how board should work in hand in glove with the management. Point number two is the strategic pathway. The board of director finally decides how an organization grows. Board of director comes with a very strong and strategic experience. Now this helps to address the opportunities and threats. Board gives the direction to set long as well as the short-term goals. Point number three is accountability. The board is having the responsibility to provide oversight and own accountability to the organization. They ensure that all legal and ethical standards are met and followed. It further assures that the right and optimum utilization of the assets of the company are done and the loss or any pilferage is prevented. An important position in the board is the board chairman. A board is always headed by a chairman. His primary responsibility is to lead rest of the board. He acts as a liaison between the board and the management. Chair is responsible for the relationship between chief executive, management, corporate, stakeholders, company secretary, and other board members. Some of the key responsibilities of the board chair are: point number one, help and direct to write the agenda, to identify the top priority and facilitate the board meeting effectively. Point number two is oversee board and the executive committee. His responsibility is also to empower the board and its members. Next point is engaging board members for the organized work. Next point, set the tone and environment for the board meeting. Point number five, guide the organization to fulfill mission and organization's goal. Point number six is facilitate collaboration with management to handle any crisis situation. Point number seven is to act as a spokesman of the organization. Now these are the basic work for the chairman of the board. Apart from that, chairman is also responsible for overall functioning of the board and the organization. The relationship between various stakeholders is another responsibility of the board chair. Next point is what are the responsibilities of the board members. The chairman oversees the board and its functioning, but each board member has its own responsibility. The generic responsibilities are almost same, but certain board members are given additional portfolios as well. Now over here I am mentioning total 6 key responsibilities of a board member. Point number one is strategic planning and monitoring. The board is responsible for creation and the review of mission statement of the company. The board member may actively participate in overall strategic planning of the organization. Monitoring function and overall supervision is one of the functions of the board members. Point number two is protection of assets and providing financial overview. Protection and optimum utilization of the organization's assets are one of the key responsibilities of board members. Financial overview and strategization are the key functions of the board members. Point number three is reviewing the performance of the chief executive. The board is responsible for the work of the chief executive. Reviewing and scrutinizing the functions of the chief executive also comes under the responsibility of the board members. Point number 4 is a policy-based governance system. Article of Governance provides a framework using which the policies of an organization are formulated. The policies act as a guidelines of the corporate governance. Point number 5 is maintaining shareholder and stakeholder relations. The relationship between shareholders and the stakeholders are maintained and overseen by the board members. The board facilitates the action which creates and maintains and preserves this relationship. Even the dividend policies to the shareholders are formulated by the board. Point number 6 is preserving and maintaining the resources of the company. Maintaining and preserving the resources of the company also comes as one of the key responsibilities of the board. The prevention of loss and damage to the resources and assets is always the ongoing prime responsibilities of a board. Overall, board gives a leadership and a strategic direction to the whole organization. It gives a yardstick to the management to function and scrutinizes its function in order to carry on with the corporate ethics and corporate mission. Now, overall, a strong board is always required for proper functioning of a corporation or company. A strong board governance also adds to a positive picture to the stakeholders and the external world. A proper board of director functioning also prevents a lot of losses and prevents pilferages and many unethical behaviors. Overall, board is a guiding lamp to the organization. That's all for today. If you got value from this episode, I request you to like, share and subscribe. To my Apple Podcast listeners, I request for a review. I want an honest review how my podcast is helping you and enhancing your life. I'll be back with many such episodes. Till then, stay tuned, stay connected. Have a great day.